Good evening. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines. Manama ranked as one of the best cities in the Middle East for retirees. Proposal to ban charity donations rejected. India too hot, says Modi, sending fire warning nationwide as Delhi landfill burns. Saudi announced second booster dose for those above 50. Kuwait likely to revise prices of commodities after Eid. News in detail. Manama ranked as one of the best cities in the Middle East for retirees. Manama emerged as the 9th best city in the Middle East and Africa for retirees and 94th globally out of thousands of cities surveyed. Manama has been ranked amongst the top 100 cities in the world and top 10 in the Middle East and Africa for retirees, according to a study conducted by UK-based research firm. The study compiled an in-text score assessing 18 different factors, broadly addressing city infrastructure, accessibility, and livability, which would specifically impact the lives of retirees. The results assesses global cities offering the best environments for local retirees, as well as a ranking of the best cities for legacy management. Data sources include the World Health Organization, World Bank, local governments, and Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Proposal to ban charity donations rejected. MPs yesterday rejected a proposed legislation to bar charity societies from sending donations abroad. The government had earlier called for a rethink into the move, terming it as disastrous. Council of Representatives held weekly session. The Council of Representatives has yesterday convened for its 30th session of the 4th session of the 5th legislative term. Chairing the session, Speaker Fawzia bint Abdullah Zainal extended sincere congratulations and greetings on the upcoming Eid al-Fitr to His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. The Council of Representatives Speaker has also expressed deepest congratulations on this occasion to citizens and residents as well as the Arab and Islamic nations. On the occasion of the International Workers' Day, which falls on May 1st, the Speaker hailed Bahrain workforce's crucial role in contributions to the national economy in light of the comprehensive development momentum. She commended the dedicated national efforts exerted by the government, reiterating the Council's support to developing labor laws to further bolster workers' gains. Zainal also lauded the efforts and contributions of the national media institutions as well as the media and personnel across all sectors, hailing their role as essential partners in Bahrain's development and progress. Memoranda of Understanding signed to construct mosques in Salman City. The Sunni Endowments Directorate has signed 3 Memoranda of Understanding with donors to build 4 mosques in Salman City. The move is in line with the order of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, to immediately launch a development plan for mosques across the kingdom's governorates, inaugurate and restore 20 mosques belonging to the Sunni and Jafari endowments located across different governorates of the kingdom, as well as to allocate sites and expedite the design and construction of 12 mosques in Salman City. Council of Representatives issued Lawmakers Guidebook. The Council of Representatives has issued the 2nd edition of a guide highlighting lawmakers' duties and ways of communicating with them, titled Communicating with Your Lawmaker. The guide also compiles the parliamentary activities carried out by each legislator during his term. The General Secretariat issued the guide following directives from Speaker Fawzia bint Abdullah Zainal under the supervision of Secretary General Chancellor Rashid Mohammad Bujaima. The guide details lawmakers' responsibilities in exercising their duties, including legislation, oversight, and representing citizens in their respective constituencies, in addition to their relations with civil society institutions and municipal councillors. Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority announced voluntary contributions to support National Council for Arts. Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority has announced that tourist establishments in the form of hotels, hotel apartments, furnished apartments and tourist restaurants will start collecting a voluntary contribution from customers at the value of BD1 per invoice to support the National Council for Arts starting from May. Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority said that the voluntary contribution will be added to the checkout bill for customers and residents of hotels, hotel apartments and furnished apartments, and will be added to the indoor food orders bill for those who visit restaurants. The customer can ask for a new invoice that does not include the amount of the voluntary contribution. Bahrain discovered archaeological data through excavations. Best efforts are on to uncover the archaeological treasures, buried artifacts, and reflect the richness of Bahrain's civilizational heritage and the prosperity of its people throughout the ages, according to Bahrain Authority for Culture and Antiquities officials. During this year 22-23, new tombs were discovered, while 11 were completely excavated, and out of these 11 burials that were excavated, they were intact. The others were deliberately looted and robbed, most likely an antiquity, though they still yield sometimes interesting archaeological and anthropological materials and data. Bahrain affirmed keenness to consolidate regional security, peace and stability. The Kingdom of Bahrain has affirmed its keenness to cooperate with brotherly and friendly countries in consolidating peace and stability in the Middle East, in addition to promoting the values of dialogue, peaceful coexistence, tolerance and rapprochement among people, as well-established principles adopted under the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, and the policy of the government led by His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. This came during the statement delivered by the permanent representative of the Kingdom of Bahrain to the United Nations in New York, Ambassador Jamal Faris Al Ruwaiyi, during the Security Council's open session on the situation of the Middle East, including the Palestinian issue. The permanent representative stressed that the existing challenges and developments in the current regional and international situations require strengthening joint efforts to lay the foundations for security, peace and stability, combating terrorism in all its forms and preventing its financing, and developing joint cooperation in order to achieve the aspirations of the region's countries and peoples for more prosperity, security, peace and progress. Southern Governor chaired Security Committee meeting. Southern Governor His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Ali bin Khalifa Al Khalifa has today chaired the fourth meeting this year of the Security Committee. The meeting was also attended by Deputy Southern Governor Brigadier Isa Tamir Al Dosari and officers representing security directorates at the Ministry of Interior. His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Ali bin Khalifa Al Khalifa stressed the importance of following up plans and programs and coordinating with the relevant security directorates to further strengthen community partnership and spirit of belonging to the nation, in line with directives of the Minister of Interior, General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa. Today's COVID updates. COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. India too hot, said Prime Minister Narendra Modi, sending fire warning nationwide as Delhi landfill burns. India is getting too hot too early, raising the risk of fires. Prime Minister Narendra Modi warned on Wednesday as New Delhi sweltered in extreme heat and a burning landfill on the outskirts of the capital spewed toxic smoke into the air. Temperatures are rising rapidly in the country and rising much earlier than usual, Modi told heads of India's state governments in an online conference. During such a time, increasing incidents of fires in various places, in jungles, important buildings and in hospitals are seen in the past few days. The Prime Minister asked the state governments to prioritize fire safety audits for hospitals. Dozens of people die every year in fires in Indian hospitals and factories, mainly due to illegal construction and lax enforcement of safety requirements, Reuters reported. Now we will be back after a very short break. 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahla. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination. Welcome back. Saudi announced second booster dose for those above 50. The Ministry of Health announced on Tuesday that booking for the second booster dose for vaccine against coronavirus is available for those at the age of 50 or above. Those who have completed 8 months after taking the first booster dose can register for the second dose. The ministry said in a statement published in its Twitter account. The ministry said that an appointment for the second dose can be had through its Sahati application. Saudi allows any color of veil for women's ID photo. The agency of the Ministry of Interior for Civil Status has resolved a controversy with regard to the color of the veil worn by Saudi women while taking personal photos for their national identity cards. The agency emphasized that it is not mandatory for women to wear a certain color of the veil in their personal photo to be used in their national ID. The agency left it to the choice of a Saudi woman who wear any color that suits her while taking a personal photo to get her national identity card issued. The agency said that it takes a maximum of 14 days to issue the ID card. Kuwait likely to revise prices of commodities after Eid. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry will issue a new decision after the Eid al-Fitr holidays to cancel the earlier decision which was issued to streamline the food prices, saying the ministry officials during the last period reviewed the causes and repercussions of the decision and concluded that it is necessary to reconsider it. In the recent period, noticeable cargoes of goods and foodstuffs from the Kuwait have been making a detour to the Gulf markets due to the price difference of up to 20%. The sources pointed out that a group of food suppliers recently contacted Minister Fahad Al-Sharian and conveyed to him the changes that have occurred in global markets, which led to fundamental adjustments in prices, and explained to the minister the difficulty they face to ensure adequate food supply in the Kuwait market if the decision to fix prices continues, because it puts the suppliers under pressure to bear the cost of difference. Kuwait welcomed UN's exceptional veto resolution. Kuwait has welcomed the UN's exceptional resolution requiring veto justification. It is natural to have opposing views on veto use, and this resolution would guarantee transparent and constructive discussions on the matter. Acting charge the affair of Kuwait's permanent mission to the United Nations, Badr al-Munaik, told the Assembly. Earlier today, the UN's 193 members General Assembly adopted the Liechtenstein-spearheaded resolution by consensus. Veto abuse had previously contributed to the Security Council's inability to shoulder its responsibility, which eventually led to jeopardizing national peace and security, the Kuwait diplomat said, Kuwait news agency reported. Dubai introduced online platform to issue e-scooter driving permit. Dubai announced that the use of electric scooters in safe streets specified by RTA requires a traffic permit that can be obtained through an electronic platform launched by RTA on its website that allows the public to obtain free permits, which qualify them to use this type of flexible transportation in the areas and streets that it has specified. The electronic platform will be ready to operate and available to the public starting from the 28th of this April. Obtaining the permit requires passing the awareness training course available on RTA's website, and the trainee's age should not be less than 16 years. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I am Vinod Narayanan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.